Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. So I want to cover a few very important aspects in this video. Yeah, not just the price in itself. So please make sure you watch the video till the end. We take a look here at CoinMarketCap first. We can see Bitcoin is not able at the moment to break back above 29K. Pretty much seems to be heading lower and lower. Yeah. So overall in the crypto market today, we see a slight recovery after prices dropped quite significantly yesterday, together with Bitcoin's drop below 28.6K, which is a very important support. However, it recovered a little bit, and accordingly, some of the other cryptos recovered as well. Yeah, and then we usually see here a little bit of green, but overall it seems most of them are just making lower highs. So let's take a look at the Bitcoin chart. Here the more imminent moves. Yeah, I mean, still at play here in my scenario. Yeah, I'm leaning currently towards still that here the wave E was complete at 29,850. I've got this dotted line here as an invalidation point at 29,850. For everybody who has got no clue about what does it mean, it basically means ABCDE. That is the pattern for an Elliott Wave triangle. In my opinion, this is either here a symmetrical triangle or a descending triangle, which has peaked at the wave E. Basically, that means the wave doesn't need to go higher. It just means that this here was the last three-wave move in this triangle, which also completed a wave 4, which means that usually opposite of the wave E, you would exit out of that triangle. That means the trend would go down, and that pretty much has so far played out. As you can see, we've made series of lower highs here, yeah, and even lower lows with the exception of that one low here. Also, this wave 4 came after in May we made a local low here at 25.4K. So then you get, after wave 3 down, you get a wave 4 retracement to the upside. That did basically what it needs to do. Yeah, and we can just double check that. By the way, these here should be red. So let me just change the color to red. So the wave has the same color. But to get an understanding of what the wave 4 needs to do, we can draw the Fibonacci retracement levels. And you can see that in this wave 4, the price reached the 23.6% Fibonacci retracement level, and now it's currently dancing around that Fib level. Yeah, what it has been for a while. It tested it as resistance the last time here on the 27th of May, yesterday, and it hasn't reached the 38.2% Fib level. So the 23.6, which it reached at 29.6K, that was the minimum it would need to do in a wave 4. So from that point of view, it's all done. The wave 4 really could be complete from a perspective of Fibonacci retracement levels as well. Ideally, it moves a bit higher to the 38.2% Fib level. That would be 32.1K, but it doesn't need to. It doesn't need to. At the current stage, this is still possible, yeah? So therefore, I've got the point here, invalidation point. So first of all, if the price moves above 29,850, but even more important, above 30,725, I would be very much in favor of the price actually going a little bit higher in a wave 4 to actually go to the 38.2% Fib level. That would then still be a wave 4, because we would still be in the price area what normally a wave 4 would do. At the moment though, I don't see that. At the moment, primarily I have to expect lower prices for Bitcoin, and that we might actually not see that 38.2% Fib level. I just wanted to mention it, that this possibility still exists, that should we really get above the or past the invalidation point here, that would be the next scenario. However, at the moment, we can see Bitcoin losing steam, yeah, going lower, possibly rolling over. You can see that here, and also after we peaked here in a wave E, I told you that we can now expect lower prices, and it dropped. Yeah, it made actually a new swing low here at 28K in this whole triangle. 28K, it then moved up quite strongly in what I believe is a wave 2 retracement, which normally comes up quite a lot. And this retraced actually all the way up perfectly to the 88.7% Fibonacci retracement level. So that's absolutely perfect, what a wave 2 would normally do. Then I told you yesterday that it could be that we now started the wave 3. But in a wave 3, you also have waves and subwaves. Yeah. So there are two main possibilities now. One is that yes, we started a wave 3 and that this here can be counted as a wave 1 down and a wave 2 up. And that this here is another wave 1 down and a wave 2 up. This is possible. So that you get a 1-2, 1-2 pattern, which might confirm that we might actually be in an extended wave 3. However, we don't really see that imminent sell-off pressure. And if this is a wave 3, it needs to go down fast now. It just needs to go down fast. And that would be confirmed, in my opinion, below, first of all, 28.6K, but even better below 28.25K. And the real confirmation would really only come below 28K, that we are in a wave 3. If this is a wave 3, it would probably come down quite a lot. Yeah. So if this is wave 3, we would expect a price range of 26,800 pretty much for the wave 3 as a minimum. Yeah, that is what it would need to do. And then we would move up in a wave 4, and the wave 5 could then go just below 25K or 25.4K here, which is the wave 3 low. So we want to go lower. We want to make one lower low. I think the price needs that. That is also suggested by the Elliott Wave count here at the moment. And if Bitcoin makes a lower low, it could even go lower, of course. Yeah. Ideal target level for me is here like the 200-week moving average, as I mentioned before. So that is the first possibility, that we're here in a wave 3, yeah, and that we have a 1-2, 1-2 setup before we probably quickly go down. The other scenario is that wave 2 here is actually not finished yet. And if that wave 2 is not finished yet, we will probably see a little bit more of a retracement to the upside. As long as we stay here below this high at 29,350, which is the swing high here. If I count that as a 1-2, then we should stay below that level. And until as long as we stay below that level, I'm in favor of this being a wave 3. If we go above that level, it could actually be quite likely that we are still actually in that wave 2 and that we might test that 29,738 level again and might even go all the way up to 29,850. But primarily I would expect, as long as we are below these invalidation points here, that we are going lower here immediately. Yeah. So that is my view about Bitcoin. What is very important, a few important things to point out here that I haven't really talked about yet. So a few things I saw in the charts. First of all, here, daily chart, RSI. Be aware that really since January 21, the peaks of the RSI have gone down. So the trend has weakened since then. That was also one of the reasons why I've been talking about the prices dropping to the current levels already back in December, because we saw bearish divergences here, not necessarily only on the daily chart, but we saw, I think, a huge bearish divergence on the weekly chart when the price made that peak here in the wave B. So that was possible to see already. But we can see here this this trend line on the RSI, which I find is quite interesting. Yeah, you can actually see this descending trend line here. And in my opinion, this indicates that the bulls have been losing interest. Yeah, and a trend line on the RSI can be used as a possible breakout point as well. So if we make a new price highs, yeah, and we stay below the trend line, it could really still indicate bearish pressure. But as soon as we break above this trend line, it could really free the price to new all-time highs. Yeah, so we need to see, but it's still an interesting factor here. Just highlighting here that the bulls are still getting weaker and weaker here. And the first time that we actually make a new high on the RSI on the daily, that could indicate that the low is in. Yeah. And this high on the RSI will not occur when we have a new all-time high. This high on the RSI, that will probably happen quite quickly in the uptrend. So as you can see here, when did we actually make that swing high? That was at 42K. Yeah, and we still made it all the way up to 65K here back in 21. So just be aware. And this was an all-time, well, this was we were way above the 70 level of the RSI back then. So now we would need to get only above maybe 70 really to break this trend line. It's just something to keep in mind. I'm not saying you to wait to buy until we break that level, but it's just something very interesting we want to look at. Yeah, those factors. And also If we zoom in a little bit here on the daily RSI, we can actually see that we here probably get something like a bullish divergence coming. I mean, we have it from here to here. So what you actually see is we're making obviously a higher low on the price, but we're actually making a lower low on the, we're making a high low on the RSI, we're making a lower low on the price. So we see those bullish divergences now creeping in, yeah, which indicates that the low, I'm not saying the low is in, but we could be getting low, because what you often see is those indicators like the RSI, they often make the low before actually the actual price low is in, but it indicates that we are close, yeah, that we are close to making that low. So I want to show you that. Something else I want to show you is the fear and greed index, where we are at the moment. We're currently at 13. Which is still extreme fear. Yeah, you can see that here for the last month it's been extreme fear. So it's just extremely negative market sentiment. And as it was very unrealistic when I talked about the price dropping to 20 to 29K back in November and December and for the last 6 months, but of course the further back we were, the more unrealistic it seemed. It now seems unrealistic that we will ever go to new all-time highs, okay? So keep that in mind as well. It's just a sentiment. What is even more interesting is that here on the historical chart, we're actually lower than the lows back in July 21. So this just shows significant selling pressure and uncertainty in the market. We're pretty much at the level of March 2020, the COVID lows. Yeah? And there was really only a couple of instances where we were historically lower, even lower than that. Yeah, I think the lowest point here on that fear and greed historical index is 5. That was in August 29. And before 2018, they didn't capture the historical chart. And then one last thing I want to show you is the exchange reserve. So that means how much Bitcoin or how many Bitcoins are actually on the exchanges. And what I'm looking out for here is observe that chart really regularly. Obviously, it's been dropping since July 21, which indicates that more and more people are getting their Bitcoins off the exchanges. So that is generally a bullish signal, because it means that more and more people are really trying to keep hold of their Bitcoins long term. And we've seen that most of the selling pressure has really come in the last 6 months of short-term holders. And most of these people realize the loss. But what I'm looking out for here is a peak. We want to look for a spike. Something that indicates that these people who have been moving Bitcoin off the exchanges, that they are moving it on to the exchanges again to sell it and to get out of the market, because they might be bored, they might be feared. So, and when that is happening, that could indicate a low, that the low was in, or that the low is in, because that could be an indicator for that last capitulation. And we've seen here the last few dips that we've seen those spikes that people then used to bring their Bitcoins back onto the exchanges to actually sell them. Here that was in on the 10th of May. So we had a little spike in the price here. So after that crash, very interesting. We had a move down from 40K to 30K. And then the next small spike in the price above 30K, a lot of people used to get out of the market. This is always quite funny. But that was the first indicator. And then we've had here recently the next prices dropping, obviously. And people here then using those small price increases to get out of the market, to bring their Bitcoins back onto the exchanges. Obviously to sell them. Why would you do it, right, otherwise? So that is just something I'm looking out for. And these spikes, and I think if we see a more significant spike, the next one, that could indicate that the low is really in. And I've been telling you throughout that I think every new low on the Bitcoin price chart could now be the last one before we then start to go higher. Of course, not guaranteed at the moment, but also the medium-term Elliott Wave count suggests that should we make a lower low compared to the wave 3 here, we will peak here in that wave 5 to the downside, and that could indicate that the low is in. Okay, and that is my view about Bitcoin here at the moment. Have a great weekend. Hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then check out the channel membership. Maybe check out the trading course that I'm offering on the website at the moment. This weekend there will be a lot of Elliott Wave videos, published. And yeah, maybe check out the channel membership to get access to the Telegram live chat rooms, the Discord server, and the weekly live stream. There is the next one on Sunday at 1700 UTC. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.